Everybody's ready.
Oh, okay. Hi, Naru. 555555555555555. Welcome to the pre-show, the show where we talk about all the shit that we don't want to talk about on our other show. But this week we have Trail Alongs. We've got Brandon and Naru joining us for the pre-show to kind of get a second glance at or an outsider's look in for the promo.
Sure.
That works. So, in case you guys didn't know, we shot a promo for Dragon Con. We put it up on YouTube. It's up on all of our social media. We posted it there. Oh yeah, crack.
Yeah, I have a bottle.
We all drink on the pre-show, but Brandon and I were drinking before this for Miller Mythology too. So cool. Check that out. Check out Miller Mythology. It's on Instagram TV. Okay, yeah. So the promo. We shot a promo for Dragon Con. Is what, 3 minutes, Tank?
Yeah.
Something like that. The link. What's up, bro?
You filmed it 3 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty close actually.
Literally.
It racks up 3 million views in 3 minutes. Booyah!
Booyah.
So we did the promo. The link will be in the description. If you're listening to it on iTunes or something like that, check out the description. It'll be in there. Or go to YouTube, type in TNFW or TheNerdsFromWork, all one word. And our promo will be our latest video if you're listening to this week.
Well, no, because this will be up after the promo.
Yeah. So
Our last
it says Dragon Con on it, okay? So just click that one, the one that doesn't look like any other show. So it'll say promo on it, so just go to that. So Tank and I have some theories from inside from shooting it. Naru has some theories as an avid watcher of film. And Brandon's got some ideas because he actually films shit. So let's actually start with Naru.
I loved it.
Brandon's got to be critical, and Tank and I are super critical, so
I gotta be the fanboy.
There you go.
Okay, can't. It was terrible. Seriously though, watching that, I think where I watched it had more to do with my enjoyment of it because I was at work, and I'm like, okay, click on, and then I got some people, come take a look, and they were like, my God, that is such high resolution. Oh my God, that is so cool. And I start narrating, and then you guys go through the whole thing of. Can I spoiler alert? Can I spoil the promo? Yeah. So when you guys do the whole thing where Tank's in his pajamas, yeah, that just cracked people up in the office. And by the way, we have 2 people in the office who are definitely going to be coming to heckle us at the show, guaranteed.
Awesome.
At the panel. So that's going to be fun. I really enjoyed it up until the sudden time jump. It went from broad daylight to night in seconds. I'm like, whoa, so that is some superpower.
Jason, do you want to answer that, or do you want me to answer that?
So I'll answer it. So we were filming that at our martial arts class. So the reason we decided to do it at martial arts is because we're not good fake fighters. So I figured, like, if I actually hit these people, these guys won't get mad at me. So we got there early. One of our buddies, Gordy, he has some background in film, will say. Yeah, some light background in film, we will say that.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll tell you more. We can tell you more later.
We'll tell you off screen. But he's got a good background, and he was there early to help us out. Yeah, exactly. Brandon, if Gordy ever watches this, I want him to know that you did that, not me. Gordy is.
I also always forget that we're in this new, like, we're all big screens.
Everybody can see you all the time.
Yeah, so you can't do that stuff you do in the corner and crack me up.
All my old shit. Where I was like, oh, yeah.
We got there. We filmed a lot of the stuff leading up to it before it started.
Before class started.
Yeah, before class started. Then we had class, which was like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, something like that. Yeah. So then it was dark. That's when everyone was actually there.
Yeah, so like the extras didn't show up until like 10 minutes before class. And so, like I said, so 2.5 hours of class. And then we're like, well, shit, now what do we do?
So we're like, shit, okay, well, we can't reshoot the whole thing. So let's just make a nod. So I'll spoil this for everyone. So if you watch our thing, there's supposed to be subtle nods to multiple different nerd film, I guess. So that nod was actually to Daredevil, whereas not Daredevil, Deadpool, whereas breaking the fourth wall. So like we understood like it's gonna be weird snapping from daytime to night. So that's why we had Tank throw in the line like, yeah, it's weird how these things get dark so fast. So like we were like, okay, let's just acknowledge it. Like we can't do anything about it. This is our one night to shoot.
Yep.
We can only shoot today. So we need to just go ahead and do this. So yeah, we just wanted to acknowledge that. And then their references to Jackie Chan movies, The Matrix.
I'll throw it out there right now. I missed all of them because I watched.
I was gonna say,
well, yeah.
You guys really buried those references.
No, I didn't. I didn't have any. I didn't have the audio.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So the inspiration, I'll say the inspiration behind some scenes came from nerd film. So like that came from Deadpool. Tank's fight scene came from The Matrix. My fight scene, Jackie Chan. And then we had like an Avengers like cut scene where we trailed from one to the other, like a connecting thought. Like when it goes from me to Tank, it's like the first Avengers movie where they say something to each other and it goes to the other fight scene and it just trails. So there were nods like that and we were trying to bring that stuff in, but yeah.
I definitely caught Tanks. So
Yeah.
I think if you didn't catch Tanks, you should be ashamed of yourself, whoever you are.
I didn't catch it.
You should be ashamed of yourself for sure. Like,
I didn't hear any of the audio.
it was visual, dude. He's standing there holding the guy up with one hand, like.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun.
Focus on something else during that scene.
Yeah, the Jackie
only
Chan
thing in
nod
that
was
scene.
like more of like a comical, like you're fighting, you're losing, now you're winning. Bring something else into the fight shouldn't be there, which was the chair. So
I thought you were gonna say which was Chris.
So any other thoughts other than just the snap? Rue?
Honestly, wait, that was Chris, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at that and laughing like, this guy is awesome. Like, I just love Chris. He's just such an awesome dude. But having said that, yeah, I really liked it because I thought it was really cool, really ballsy, to just your first attempt to do something like that. Just do it, man. Whatever happens. And I'm pretty sure you guys have a healthy respect now for the guys who do it for real, like the guys who choreograph and actually film that stuff. Because I'll be honest, I love you guys, but that looked terrible in a good way.
Fight scenes,
yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's like Jason's IGTV the next day was talking about Donnie Yen and like how hard it is to fight on screen.
That.
Yeah,
I saw that. And I was like, what's he talking about? How bad could it be? And I saw it. I'm like,
yeah.
So I've been fighting since I was like 15, something like that.
Well, like structured.
Yeah.
You grew up getting the shit beat out of you by your dad, but
yeah, I mean, I know some boxing and like, so my background is I've been like messing around since I was a kid, and then I started learning how to fight from like proper Wing Chun when I was 15, and then I went to the Marine Corps and got a black belt in Marine Corps martial arts. Went to some Marine Corps boxing lessons, did like some MMA, some Muay Thai, stuff like that. So I know how to fight. Like I do, but doing it on screen and like, all right, I'm not gonna hurt you.
completely different.
Can you guys see that?
A little bit. You actually bruised?
Oh man, I was swinging on him, dude.
Yeah.
You know, I've got my shins are bruised. I beat myself up because I was swinging hard, but it was like, and we had to do that take like 30 times. So,
really?
3.
Oh, yeah, we did it. No, we did it more than 3.
Okay, you guys practiced
did a
several
lot.
times, and then we actually recorded it twice, I think. So
We did it a lot, but yeah, it was. I mean, yeah, it brought a new level of respect to those guys for sure.
Let's just put it.
Looking at the on-box stuff, like that's why they actually are just hitting each other.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, so we had Gordy, who has some experience, and then we had my father, who has done some fight choreography for real movies, and he kept yelling at me, and he's like, "No, do it this way," and I'm like, "That's not proper. Like, that's not how you fight." And he's like, "Yeah, but it's gonna look terrible on film if you don't do it that way." And I was like, "No, like I'm not doing it." And then like when I actually watch it now, I'm just like, "Oh God."
Yeah.
Dad freaking got hit and did a backflip onto a fucking table in a movie, dude.
Yeah.
Like, no physics apply to movies.
And he was like, "Telegraph everything." And I was like, "I can't though. Like I physically cannot do that." And he's like, "Well,
that's why they
tell you." And I was like, "Shit."
Now you know why they tend to avoid casting actual fighters if they can. Like, they'll look for the guy who can act, the person who understands the mechanics of acting, and just the fact that they have to portray as against do.
Well, so that I don't think that that's honestly like the best, because we've seen Iron Fist and that turned out terrible. Like, the guy's a great actor.
Well, really, you're going to go to the lowest denominator?
Yes.
With my point,
yes,
really?
Because then you take
the Bruce Lee movie.
Well, Bruce Lee was a great fighter.
The Bruce Lee movie, the movie about him, the guy who plays him.
The Indian dude, the Indian dude that they tried to Indian wash.
Indian wash. Yeah, it was terrible.
He wasn't Indian. Was he Indian?
Yes, he was. That's why no one liked that movie. And that
has nothing to do with my point. The point was they got a guy who couldn't fight and taught him to make the moves, and it looked legit on screen.
Yeah. The reason Bruce Lee is as good as he is because he's able to do both. If everybody can do both, those are the people like Jet Li, Jackie Chan,
right.
Donnie Yen. Fuck, that dude's good.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
The dude from Ong Bak. Like,
oh yeah, Tony Jaa.
Yeah, the reason they're good is because they can do both, but that's very rare. So like,
oh yeah,
I guess for people who aren't that like top 2% of actors or whatever, action actors or whatever,
so
have to do like what Naru says and just take someone who doesn't fight and is just flashy.
So fun fact, Bruce Lee actually did the martial arts that Tank and I do when he started his movies, when he started as Kato in the Green Hornet. Right. And when they started filming, I don't know if you guys know this or not, I know Brandon does, but when they started filming, he was doing Wing Chun on screen, and they told him to stop or he would lose the role because he was going too fast and the fights were over too fast. And he was like, "Well, that's how I fight." And they were like, "No, slow it down, dress it up, make it look better because we've got 30 minutes to fill. Do something different." So that's when he started doing the fancy kicks and the throws and stuff like that, is because it wasn't that he thought it was effective. It was because he was going to lose his job if he didn't do it.
Yeah.
So you got to go from effective to entertaining.
Yep.
Cinematic, which pretty much means I probably had a better chance of making all that stuff look good than you did.
No, in all honesty.
Oh, that is ironic.
Brandon, what are your thoughts, dude?
So from a purely filming perspective,
okay,
because I didn't listen to the beginning scene. I liked the like cut scenes.
Yeah.
Maybe not like in the future. Maybe don't do this because it was almost the exact same for both, which is cool if it's done for very certain things.
Contrast is better.
Yeah. So like maybe like one person gets in their car, the other person starts their car. One person.
See, that's interesting. I was afraid because I didn't actually put it like on the timeline to see what it would look like, but I was afraid if I did that, it would be confusing. So that's because, because all you see is because it was like a first person view. If it was like third person, I could see that, but I was just afraid of it being confusing being first person. It just like randomly jumping from different cars. So that's kind of I think that's part of the reason I did it the way I did it. But it makes sense though.
People do those things a million different ways, right?
Right.
Like they do it like a split screen, or they do whatever. Just so
split screen would have been cool.
Yeah. I thought about it, but
split screen would work. Another thing that would work is also having the philosophy that you're using the fact that you're doing two different things or showing two different things in the preparation to show
like how Jason prepares isn't the same as how
exactly. Plus, check out the fact of how they arrived. He's putting on his tie. Work clothes versus that part kicks that man. That yeah.
I like the whole like theme and gag and stuff. I love that. That was really cool way to bring that in.
Who filmed The Arrival?
Gordy.
Yeah, Gordy. So
I love the fact that I didn't see Jason until he came around. I really like that.
Yeah.
The whole pan.
I like the idea behind that shot. How it was filmed could have been done better, but I understand why it was filmed too close. But why it was filmed too close was because of Dad's yard right there.
Yeah.
But like no one else understands that because no one's been at Dad's house.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe even doing it from slightly different or something.
Right.
But I like that. That's probably my favorite scene because I love the whatever his name is, Grand Budapest Hotel and everything, where it's that follow scene and turns and follows. And
Yeah.
I love continuous scenes. I'm a huge fan of that in any film.
I have a suggestion, Brandon. Could you please go do a CinemaSins version of that promo?
A what?
CinemaSins.
That'd be pretty funny. You know,
ding to give you guys takes points away. Things I hate about the movie. Ding.
Oh.
I don't hate it. No, I don't hate it at all. And that's I'm definitely ragging on it, but I have a takeaway at the end. Yeah, I like that. The cut obviously would have been better if I would have heard Tank say something about it.
Yeah.
The other cut that I wasn't the largest fan of was the phone cut. I feel like you should have got rid of the scene of you fixing your hair while fighting and just done the entire thing with a phone. Or the Joe Miller famous coffee mug.
Oh yeah,
Coffee mug would have been that. I think that's trademarked.
So the scene. So that was me clipping together 3 recordings, 3 different basically 3 different takes of the same scene that I tried to put together, and that was kind of the best I could come up with. And I wasn't the biggest fan of it. That was like the 4th rendition. Like I did it. Like my wife looked at it and we helped me tweak it, and my family looked at it and helped me tweak it a little bit, and so that was kind of
those things are also hard to do.
Yeah, it was really weird.
In what majority, I guess, 80% of what I filmed of skateboarding is that, right?
Right.
It's you film all of the before the trick shots and slow-mos and stuff like that, and then you don't land the trick that day, and then you land it 2 months later. So it's okay, now clipping it together and
making it look seamless.
Yeah, and I'm the biggest critic in those types of things or small things because I focus on them too much in my own stuff, and I still let some slide. And that's why usually I get really drunk before I edit because I will never put anything in because I don't let them slide. But
takeaway:
punch harder. Punch harder. Tell Chris to man up and just take it. I'm just saying.
Bro, it wasn't that the punches were light. It was
punching hard, but at the very end you're trying to pull up.
No.
It's almost better to go slower the whole way.
So get to your takeaway because my hardest thing on the entire thing is the fight scene.
Yeah, I've tried to film a fight scene before too.
Bro,
I understand.
Yeah,
I tried to choreograph the whole thing. I wasn't the one fighting in the scenes I was filming, but I choreographed it and I had other people trying to fight, and it's very, very difficult. And it's difficult to find what angle looks best for the fight scene too. That's also a hard thing of do you need to be in this guy's face and then the fist comes in, or do you need to be out, or do you need to be at the side or behind something? That's a whole nother thing. Yeah. But regardless, the biggest takeaway for me for this whole thing is that you did it. You won't be good at filming anything or acting or anything if you sit around and you just watch movies. You say, oh, they should have done this. Exactly what we're doing right now. Yes, it helps, but it helps because you did it. You can't get good at filming without filming. You can't get good at writing without writing or anything. You have to practice.
Well, I was just telling Kelsey today, when we started this show, we were all so nervous talking to the computer. We're all like, hey, welcome to the Nerds from Work. Hello. Haha, funny joke, Naru. Haha. And now it's, we're relaxed. Our postures are more relaxed and everything. So the more we do it, the better it would get, hopefully.
That's the biggest takeaway. It's just like
I want to go on record and say that whole funny joke never happened.
Right. You never have funny jokes.
Oh yeah, but that's okay.
That's my biggest takeaway though. Is like, if you want to do promos, just fucking film promos.
Yeah.
So I'll do mine if you don't mind, Tank, and I'll keep mine short and sweet, and then you do yours.
Be my
and then
guest.
we'll wrap up the pre-show. So this is a longer pre-show than normal, but we got a lot of shit to say. So for me, I kind of wrote out a script that, of course, it's the Nerds from Work, so we don't stick to fucking scripts.
No.
So we kind of improv the whole thing, which is fine because Tank and I love improv, and it was great. And we work well together, I think. We play off each other well as like a buddy cop thing. When it got to the fight scene, it was like it was much harder. I think I went in thinking that the rest of it would be hard, but the fight scene, because I've been fighting for so long, the fight scene would be easy. But then so many things had to change and get flipped, and no, you can't do this, or no, you can't do that. And it's not the fact that I wasn't swinging hard, because, I mean, obviously I was swinging on him, but it was the fact that I wasn't hitting with my fist. Like, I was coming down, and when I would stop with this part, and he would put his hand up, like, you know, to guard or whatever, and I was just smashing forearm to forearm, or you know, smashing his fists with my forearm or whatever, and you know, trying not to hurt the guy, but at the same time, it's like, this will look bad. And there are takes of me like barely swinging, and then there are takes of me swinging on him full force and getting stopped, and it's, you have to have dramatic flair when you fight. And I see it now. And now when I watch the Ip Man movies, I'm like, oh, well, that's why he does that in the movie. It's not because it's proper Wing Chun, but he does it because if he doesn't, Wing Chun is boring as hell.
Yes, very boring.
Yeah.
It's the laziest fighting style, I swear to God. But to me, it's something, and Tank, you know, correct me if you don't think the same way, but after watching the promo, like, I think Tank did a great job editing. Like, I think that my fight scene was terrible. Tank's fight scene was decent. Like, it was okay, but I honestly, like, I know I'm better than that. And like, as soon as it came out, as soon as we finished, I sent an apology to the whole team. Like, sorry guys, I'm sorry. Because I knew I could do better, and I knew that
I didn't get an apology, just FYI.
Yes, you did. But I know that I can do better, and I do want to do better. So hopefully that's not the last one from me, but you know, I just got to find people to fight that are willing to fight. So.
And Tank, don't take what I said about the thing as bad editing, because it's good editing. To me, it's more of the clips. Since you only can film one day, it's the clips you have
right
available at the time. I understand, like, it was edited really well, actually. It was like the transitions were great. The timing of the transitions were great. It didn't seem choppy and out of place. Like, it was edited really well. It's just learning to film like
more
10 times more than you're going to use.
And I've heard that adage, and that's actually, so my takeaway from this is I actually enjoyed the technical side of doing this, of planning the shots based on the script, figuring out like the camera work, doing all the editing. I actually enjoyed that way more than I did actually acting in it. I've never considered myself an actor. I've only been fighting for like 2.5 years. But like Jason said, that doesn't even really translate to fighting on camera anyways. But I had way more fun, and much like Brandon, I sat there and was cutting like one frame at a time, zoom out, play it. Nope. Cut one frame, back up, play it. Like, I've got to figure out, I've got to find it. And then finally, like you said, you just have to back up and just like, you know what, save, export, and just call it good. And
like, me looking at it, your cuts were great. Like, the timing of your cuts were good. They weren't in a weird where you have half of a movement and then it cuts off and stuff like that. Your timing was good, but to you it wasn't good because you're doing it frame by frame. But someone who watches it once or twice or 3 times, however many, they're not going to catch that. But you're watching it in super slow-mo
Right.
The 10,000th.
And there's one scene specifically, and I won't spoil it because it probably didn't pull your attention like it did mine. I know it probably didn't because I played it and I'm like, yeah, I made a weird cut there. My wife was like, what are you talking about? I was like, right here, and I like showed her specifically, and she's like, oh, okay. If I know it's there, I kind of see it, but if I'm not looking for it, you don't see it at all. I'm like, okay, if you say so, save and export. It's like, but I mean, I enjoyed the hell out of editing and putting this thing together. Maybe I'll act in some other stuff. Like I enjoy improv, like Jason said. We did some improv stuff at Atlanta Comic Con. Maybe I'll do some more improv-y type stuff. But I definitely enjoyed editing and like doing all the technical side stuff way more.
So takeaway, if you guys want to fight me, go ahead and send us an email, TheNerdsFromWork@gmail.com. Hit us up on Twitter, hit us up on Instagram, hit us up on all those things. This is going to be it for the pre-show. We're going to get into our actual show. So be sure to tune in tomorrow for that. So yeah, if you want Tank to edit our fight scene, email us, because calling me out on Twitter isn't going to be nice for you. So you'll know that if you ever mentioned something about Teen Titans Go to the movies. So yeah. So, sorry to whoever that guy was, but get a life, dude. And anyway, now we're going to head on over to that real show. Peace.